So a lot of people sometimes, I don't know whether it's, you know, anyway, they say you shouldn't have, they're telling me, like, you shouldn't have britching on your lead horses. Why have you done that? Well, the reason we do it is because whilst we're out, we might well, because all these horses are into training, or 3 of them are, what we might well do is put these big horses out the front and have the little ones back, and we can swap them into any position and know that we've got britching. I see a lot of people now don't use britching, and I think that, well, as far as modern carriages that have disc brakes, etc., you can understand it, but we always train them to use the britching in the event that they don't, you know, the brakes fail or something like that. Yeah, so we're going down here now. If I just take this up and let me brakes off, yeah, while I'm going downhill, my wheeler horses will hold it back. Can you see? I've got no brakes on and they'll hold it back, no trouble. And then I'll let them off. Now that's a good thing to do. People say to me, oh, well, you don't need it in this day and age. It's absolute rubbish. If you're driving in competition and they haven't got britching on, so your wheeler horses in a team have got a lot of work to do when you're going into the water. When you apply your brakes and it does absolutely nothing, it just becomes a sledge and slides. Well, if you think about it, they're taking a tremendous amount of weight on their backs and their necks, you know, obviously from the yoke, from the breast collar, and then the pad. So it's a lot of weight. Now, I'm not telling anybody how to do it, I'm just explaining why we do what we do. You see these horses now, when we get home, they'd have done, for coming back this way, I think we'd be up to somewhere around maybe 15 mile total, yeah? But we've stopped twice for a drink. We offered them a drink, you know, we always carry a collapsible water bucket. Well, we actually sell these water buckets, you know, people ask so many times, where can they get them? And they're virtually, you know, they're hard to get now. They're hard to get that are any good and the right size for horse to drink out of. But they're also very good, the buckets as well, for on a hot day, you can pour the water over them and cool them off and give them a scrape down, you know, while they're in harness. So, just, come on babies, that's it. Come over, my darling. So I want this coloured horse to come close to this, you see, so I'm going to offset him a bit, getting used to them. Thank you. I'm not saying for one moment, please understand, I know what my capabilities are, but they say, how do, you know, you can't drive a team with tiny ponies in front, that many hands difference. Well, we're doing it, aren't we? It's happening. So it's the way you yoke them. And if you look on there, what I've done, we'll film it from down. I'm just gonna stop here, and so I'll show you, and then we'll talk about it. Come over, babies, come over, my darlings, that's it. Oh, stand, that's it. Now, see, if you could watch then, the reason they didn't stand perfectly when they were arsting is these are young horses, and we come onto a little bit of gravel. I applied the brake, yeah, purposely. You don't need a brake, obviously, they'll stop them without it, but without the brake. But the reason I'd done it was because I know it would pull through the gravel and make a funny noise. So even when you're out, every little mortal thing you can do, so you put the brake on when you're training, I do anyway, and they make a little noise, dragging the stones across the top of this gravel ground here. So that's a good thing to do. They're a credit to you, them dogs. Yeah, that's bloody good, mate. You know, that's good. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's lovely, nice to see, isn't it? And they're as happy as can be. You know what I mean? That's the point, isn't it?
Collies though, they actually want to please you.
But she trains all sorts of dogs there. Like now she's got one there that can open its own can of dog. They say you can't drive them all different sizes together. Well, you know, I've done it all my life, and I'm not being conceited or big-headed in any way, but there's so many people tell you can't, and there's no reason half the time that you can't. You can't drive without a driving bit, a Liverpool bit with a curb chain. Well, what am I doing then? All of these are young horses, they've all got a soft bit of rubber in their mouth, and I do mean soft. It'll bend right. Every last one of them's got that in their mouth. Cloud in the middle, this horse in the middle, he's got cheek pieces on his, but he's still only off the ring. So it's identical to all the others. It looks different because it's got a shank on it, you know, like on any other Liverpool bit. And the reason we do that, he's got this. Come over, baby. She's gonna pull over, let this car through. Oh, stand. So they want to stand quiet while a motor car comes past, you know. Also, what they want to do is stand after the car's gone, because it's not long. They think, oh, that's it, they know best, and then they'll walk forward. Well, obviously they don't, and especially in this day and age with electric cars, they want to stand there. So we're going to start right at the front. We have a chain between the two horses. Yeah, can you see? I've just moved them over there. Should be able to see it. Anyway, you see, just between the two horses there. Now, why do we use a chain? We use a chain because it's easily and quickly adjusted. What we normally have is one of our coloured covers over it. Pack up, but see the coloured horse there? Whoa, stand still, baby. The coloured pony out the front properly ripped it just before we set off and pulled the. It's flexible hose pipe, flat hose pipe we use, and we slip the chain through that, so it protects them from getting hurt from the actual chain. But the chain is infinitely adjustable, so that's why we use that. We leave the britching on, so if we swap places, everybody says, don't you know that you shouldn't drive your leaders in britching, and you don't need britching on your wheelers, you know. Okay, we might swap these horses about, them two. One we could stop, take them out and swap them around halfway through a journey, yeah, just to give them the experience of doing so. I believe in britching. I see them on road coaches not using britching, and that's fine. If that's what people want to do, that's good, but you want to be a very skilled driver of those. There's some old prints and pictures I've got of coaches coming down a hill. I think it's in one of them's in it's on the, I'm not sure, London Brighton Road, I think. Well, there's several pictures of around the country where they're coming down and they got the drag shoe down, and also what they pack up there. Also, come over, darling. That's it. So also what they've got is they've got their brake to come on and set against the wheel to lock it up, but you need to be a skillful driver to get that brake in the right place to take the weight of a coach, sometimes carrying luggage obviously, and it can be as many as, well, more than 14 people on board, you know, which is a lot of weight. So I always believe, you know, it's good to have britching on horses. Also, when you see horses in competition, they drive now with the least amount of harness possible, not claiming, I'm not do that job. People can do that job 10 times better than me, competition driving, but you know, the less harness on them the better. Well, what I think about that is they even take the croupers off now. With a crouper and a strap over their loin just to lift up the traces, just to carry them, is not a bad idea in my opinion. If you're going down a steep, I've seen it happen, and I'm sure people that attend these, you know, competitions have seen it happen. So the trace is hanging down around his foot, he lifts up a bit, gets it up his groin, you know, up the inside of his leg, no good. Also, the other thing is when you're approaching the water and you've got no britching on, or anywhere, you know, where it's rainy day or it gets wet due to the water splash, the brakes are useless. It becomes a sledge and slides down. So I would never tell any of them competition drivers, I know far more than I do about the job and how to handle horses, but just for me, in my opinion, it makes more sense to have horses used to britching and know how to use their britching. And what we do with them, which you see us do quite often, we'll take out all different types. Come over, darling. Come over, that's it. Just come over there. All come over, come over. Step over, come over. Come over, that's it. Whoa, let's just let this van out behind us. Come up. Whoa. Stand still. Just had to move up, let that van out. So starting again at the front, chain across the front into three, we can let it out, we can remember these horses are not trained. This is not a team of horses. These horses are in training, so we can adjust it out, we can bring it in, we can, you know, infinite amount of change. Britching on all of them so we can change the places of them, should we so wish to do so. Pack up, Claire. And britching is a good thing, in my opinion, you know, to have. Also, what we'll do on other films, you'll see us drop the britching down low. Why do we do that? Because it pushes the horse off their feet if it's incorrectly fitted. Sometimes people make a mistake. Anybody can make a mistake. Everybody does it. So, you know, you've cleaned your harness, you put it back together, we'll just say, and your britching hangers, them straps there that are holding the britching up, your loin straps, hip straps, whatever you want to call them, are holding the britching up, like these two straps here, for instance. You've done it, someone's helped you clean it, they put it back together, you put it on, you don't notice that you're 4 inches too low, 5 inches too low, or even more. Then if you do stop, it'll push the horse's legs from under it. So we always do that. So if that sort of mistake is made, which anyone can do, there's no shame in it, anyone can make a mistake. But you know, when you make a mistake with horses, it's not good. Pack up there, like that. Now the other thing is, I don't at this stage of their training, I just want them to be happy, safe, confident and happy. All these horses are standing here happy, confident. Vans just come round, we've been in the traffic, we've gone in the big car park, you know, to the place where they do a cup of coffee, a coffee shop. I've been in there with them. We've been downtown in a small town with them, come all through the narrow lanes and on the main road. So I know they're happy, little lot, they're all doing their job together. They're all a little bit itchy now. George is taking the liberty beyond belief, which is George, I've already told you, it's already had the paperwork to say it's certifiable resource. It actually is crackers, you know, mentally deficient. But it just then, because I was talking and relaxed the reins for a minute, now it's going to bite the other one because it's annoyed because I've stopped it. Hey, that'll do. But when I speak to her, her head comes up. Hey, that'll do. So that's good. Stand still. So, and all these horses in soft rubber bits. These horses, you either believe me or believe me not really, but these horses, the first time that horse has been on the inside, I think, certainly in a free abreast. I'm not sure about that coloured, whether he's been out the front or not. Ree would know.
He's been out in a 4-in-hand, but not.
I've been in a 4-in-hand. What's it? So when these horses, what you sometimes get with these horses is, when you've got the free abreast, they look and can see daylight up the side of the other horses, obviously, because they're wider than those. And that horse, when we started off, he wanted to get up the front with the other horses, so he was skipping along there saying, I'll try and catch you up, you know. But stand still. So everything we do for a reason. And I don't, like my George, who is seriously crackers, at the same time, I let her get away with things I wouldn't let any other horse get away with, and she just gone down and nibbled some grass, you know what I mean? But, and I've let her do it. She's done it once on her own, I'll let her do it once more, but that's it, you know. But she's got her ears back to me, listening stiff ears, you know, back to me and saying, you know, I'm just gonna, yeah, I told you, I'm just gonna put my head down again and just let me have these reins a bit and I'll show you I can do it easily. So yeah, so we got them right back. Also I'll show you where I got them now. You see, I'll take these lead reins here, yeah, and I'll pull them horses right back on them bars. Can you see? So all the bars are pushing them up the legs. Can you see? Look where they are, the traces right back, but no one's walk. George, come up, Georgie. That's it, put them back out the front there. Come over, George. Come over, George. So you see all the bars, push them up the bum, up the butt as you call it out there in America. No problem. See the coloured horse, he's a youngster but his legs at rest there. George is now saying, come on, it's time to get back, I need my lunch. Do you know what I mean? They're all such characters, funny things, isn't it? So there you go, that's a brief rundown of what we're doing, and every step we take with horse, every single step we take, you've got to make them, not make them, but cajole them, kid them, get them to do what you want to do.